Hi.
Hi, are you sure this course is just for 2499?
Yes, and you know this is the only course with this expertise across the world.
No way!
Yes way. Don't delay. Enroll now.
Geeks learning together.
Hi everyone, very good evening and welcome back to Geeks for Geeks practice. Please give me a +1 in the chat and hit the like button if my voice is clearly audible to everyone. Today we'll be discussing yesterday's problem of the day, that is seating arrangements, which was a very easy problem. Hi Rishit, hi Madbar, and hi Shreya as well. Okay, so guys, please give me a +1 if my voice is clear. I will just cross check that. Okay. All right. So let me share my screen. Hi Naikaj as well. So Naikaj is also there for us today. So hi Naikaj. So today we'll be discussing this problem, but before that, please make sure that all of you hit the like button as well. Okay. Now I will quickly share my screen and we'll start discussing this problem. Let's see what this problem says. This problem is based on greedy. Okay. So the name of this problem is seating arrangement. Okay, seating arrangement. Right. Now what does this problem say, right? It says that we will be given an integer n denoting the number of people who needs to be seated, right? So there are n people, you can say, right? I'll use a different color here. So there are n people whom I need to make sit, right? So who need seat, okay, need a seat. These people, these n people need a seat, okay. And another thing that has been given is you have been given a list of m seats, right? So you have been given an array of m size, right? So you have been given an array which is of m size, and let's name this array as something like seats. Okay, so this is the seats array that has been given, and it has the size as m, right? What it says is that like 0 represents that a seat is vacant. Okay, so if in this array, if there is a element 0, so it will indicate that the seat is empty, right? And if it is 1, so it means that it is occupied. OCCUPID, occupied. Okay, if it indicates 1, then this means that the seat is occupied, otherwise it is free. Now it says that all the n people who need a seat, okay, there are n people who need to be seated. So I have to try to place all the n people such that they can get a seat, provided that no two people can sit to each other. Okay, so always I have to maintain one thing, that let's say if I like, if among the n people who need the seats, right, if I make a person seated, right, if I make a person seated at any ith position, then I should make sure that at the I minus 1th position and the I plus 1th position, nobody is sitting. Is that clear? Nobody is sitting and nobody is going to sit as well. Is that clear to everyone? Is this part clear? What I need to do is, in this array I need to check whether I can make all the n people sit, given that when I make all these n people sit, then no two people should sit adjacent to each other. Is that clear to everyone? If yes, then please hit the like button and give me a +1 in the chat, guys. Then I will discuss this problem further. Okay, so a lot of you are saying yes. Okay, right. Now let's quickly take this example, n is equal to 2. Okay, so let's quickly check the test case that has been given to us. So we have been given n is equal to 2. Okay, so n is equal to 2 and the array size is m, right? This is the size of the array. And let's see the array also. So it is like 0 0 1. Okay, then we have 0 0 0 and we have 1 here, right? So in this case we have to seat two people, right? So can I say that I can make one person sit here, right? uh, Agree with me, I can make one person sit here, and then I can make one person, let's say, sit here, right? And that is how I can make two people sit. Is that clear to everyone? Please write yes in the chat. Is this test case pretty much clear to everyone? If you look at another test case, let's say if a test case like this has been given, let's say n value has been given as 3, sorry, n value has been given as 1, right? And m value is 3, that is the size of the array. And you want to you have this array as 0 1 0, and you want to make one person sit. So it's not possible in this array, because already one person is sitting here, so adjacent to him nobody should be sitting, and I'll not get any place, right? So in that case I will return false, that okay, this setting cannot be done, right? Is this much part clear to everyone? Is this much part clear to everyone? Please write yes, and confirm it by giving a hit to the video as well, uh, liking the video as well. Okay, this much part is clear to everyone, right? Now what I can do is, like, see what can happen, like in such circumstances. What can happen, suppose I was given an array of something of this kind. Suppose the array was of this kind. Okay, let's say there was there were several ones also, right? Then there was 0, then there was 0, then there was 1, there was 0 0 0. Okay, so in this case what I could have done is, now, like, let's say the n value is given as 2 only, right? Let's say n value is given as 2. So I can do what, I can count. Okay, I can count the number of free seats. Okay, I can count the number of seats on which I can make the people sit. Okay, so if I will look very closely, maybe I can say that why there are no options for JavaScript. I will talk with the team. I think they are adding JavaScript support day by day. With time they will be support for JavaScript within a few days or months, right? So see, I can say that okay, this will be one position. Maybe I can say that okay, this is one position where I can have it, right? So I will mark the count as 1. Then after that I can say that let's say this is another position where I can make the people sit, right? So I can mark the count as 1 more. Okay, then maybe I can say that this is another position where I can make the people sit, right? So like if you see here, so the number of, what is the number of free positions? Please write 3 in the chat, guys, right? The number of available positions is what, available free positions, right? Available free positions is what, the number of available free positions that I have checked is nothing but 3. Okay, so if the counter, right, so I have to I have to check if the number, if the count, if the number of free positions throughout the array, if it is greater than equal to n, then I can return true, because in that case it will be possible for me to make those people sit, right? Otherwise I will do what, otherwise I will return false, because otherwise I will say that it is not possible, right? If this count indicates the number of positions where I can make people sit, right? So like if I only want to make two people sit, but there are 3 positions where I can make the people sit, right? At this position also I can make the people sit, at this position also, and let's say at this position also. So if I'm having n or more number of seats that are available for sitting, right, given that the adjacents will be 0, then in that case I can do what, I can say that if the count of the free positions, if it is greater equal to n, then it will be true. Okay, please write greater equal to n in the chat, or +1 in the chat, then I will return true, otherwise I will return false. Is this particular part pretty much clear to everyone? Please write yes in the chat and give me a +1 in the chat, and hit the like button if you are new to this video, right? Is this much part pretty much clear to everybody right here? Please write yes in the chat, guys. Okay, Rishit says that he is clear. What about other people? Others are also clear with this thing, that if the count of the free positions, right? If the count of the available positions, given that in those available positions, the adjacent in the adjacent seats of those available positions, nobody is going to sit. So if that is greater or equal to the number of people that I want to make seated, then that I want to make sit, if it is greater or equal to n, then in that case I will say that I will return true, otherwise I will return false. Okay, so there is one more problem, very popular. I think it's named as can place flowers, so it is very similar to that one. Okay, so what I will do here is, first of all I'll talk about the edge cases, right? So initially I will do what, I'll mark the count initially as 0, guys. Okay, count is going to tell me the number of free positions. If you observe that any audio is coming, so it will be because the local elections are going on, so don't worry on that part. Okay, now see, there is an edge case that let's say if I talk about the very first seat, okay, if it is empty, right? So in that case I don't have to check for its left. Okay, so that is why I'm checking it independently, that if the 0th seat is empty and the first seat is also empty, right? So in that case what I will do is, I'll say that I'll do a count plus plus, right? And I will say that okay, in that case I will occupy the 0th seat, I'll mark it as 1. Is that clear to everyone? Because I need to make the changes as well. Now whenever I occupy a seat, then I should mark it as 1, because otherwise in the next iteration, whenever I count a seat, so I should mark it as 1, so that I don't count the incorrect number of available seats, right? So yeah, so if also similarly I'll check that if the last seat, so if the seats array, right? If the m minus 1, this is the last seat, okay, if the last seat is 0, okay, and the second last seat is also second last seat is nothing but m minus 2, if it is also 0, right? So for the last seat, there will be nobody towards the right, only towards the left I have to check. So if this is the case, then I will say that okay, I'll make a person sit on the last seat, okay, so I'll mark it as 1, and I will say that okay, that is another free seat, so I'll do a counter plus plus. Is that clear to everyone? Please write +1 in the chat if this much part is clear to all of you. Right, is this much part clear to everyone? Please write yes in the chat. Right, if the 0th seat is empty and the 1th seat is also empty, so for the 0th seat there is no seat towards the left side, so I only need to check on the right side. So in that case I can make person sit at the 0th seat, so I'll mark it as 1, and I'll do a counter plus plus. And similarly, if the last seat is free and the second last seat is also free, so I'll say that I'll make the person sit as the sit at the last seat, right? Because there is no seat towards the right of the last seat, so I'll do a count plus plus there also. Okay, then please write between in the chat. Okay, then I am going to check for all the between seats. So I'm going to check between the index 1 to m minus 1. Okay, and I'm going to do an I plus plus here. So I'm going to check in between these seats, and what I'm going to do is I'll say that if it happens, right, if it happens that the if it happens that SEATS seats of I mine if the ith seat is empty, right, and it happen like if the ith seat is empty, right, and it happens that the SEATS seats of I minus 1, if the ith seat is empty and its adjacent seat on the left side is empty, and the adjacent seat on the right side is also empty, right? So please write yes in the chat. Agree with me on this condition. If the ith seat is empty, so and the seat on the left side is also empty, and the seat on the right side, if the ith seat is empty and the I minus 1th seat is empty and I plus 1th seat is empty, right? So in that case I can say that I can make a person sit at the ith seat, so I'll mark it as 1. Okay, and then I will do a count plus plus simply, right? And in the end I will check that if the number of available free seats that are there at which I can make the people sit, if that counter is greater equal to n, in such a case I will simply return a true. Okay, otherwise what I will do is otherwise I'll simply return a false variable, right? So indicating that I cannot make the people less sit, right? Is this much part clear? Please write yes and give me a +1 in the chat, guys, if you all are clear with this much part. Is everyone clear till this much part or not? Okay, so you can see that we are getting correct answer for the sample test case. Can we try to submit this code as well? Small optimizations, can we try to iterate from this to this, because the person sitting at this can we iterate from 2 to no, because yeah, you can because no, you cannot do that, because it is not always necessary na, that the 0th seat will be occupied, so it is better to do from 1 to m minus 1. Okay, then I will try to submit this code and let's see if it gets accepted or not. I hope it will get accepted. Yeah, so this problem gets accepted, right? So is this problem clear to everyone? Please write yes or +1 in the chat if this is clear. What I've done is, first of all, I am counting the number of free seats that are available. Okay, I'm counting the total number of free seats. I'm not looking for placing the n people sit. I'm saying that okay, let's count how many seats are following the condition such that if I I can make people sit there, right? So what I'm doing is I'm checking if the 0th if the very 0th seat is empty, then I am checking that if there is no seat on the left side for it, then I'm checking for a seat on the right side of it. Okay, if it is empty, then I'll make a person sit at the 0th seat, so I'll mark it as 1 and I'll do a counter plus plus. Similarly, what I'll do is I'll check with the last seat. If the last seat is empty and the second last seat is empty, so I'll make a person sit at the last seat and I'll do the count plus plus. Otherwise I'll iterate between 1 to m minus 1, that is in between the array, and I'll check if the ith seat is empty, and I minus 1th seat is empty, and I plus 1th seat is empty. Then in that case I can make a person sit at the ith seat, so I'll do a counter plus plus. And if this counter is coming out to be greater equal to n, then I'll return a true, means that I can make people sit because if the number of available free seats are greater than equal to n, if I can make n people sit on the free seats, or more than n people sit, right? So more than n people is also fine for me. So if the number of free seats are available seats are more than n, that is also fine. So I'll return true, otherwise I'll return false. That is what I've done. So please write +1 in the chat, guys, if all of you are clear with this particular problem so far, right? I'll quickly open the IDE just to give you the code for this one. Please write +1 clear in the chat as an acknowledgement, and then I am sharing the code also. Okay, understood how you can do it simply. Others who have joined the live just now, they can also make sure to hit the like button. Okay, so I'm sharing this code with all of you, right? Yeah, so this is the code that I have shared with all of you, right? Now coming back to the time complexity of this code, right? So basically this problem was based on what? This problem was based on nothing but greedy concept, right? This problem was nothing but concept was greedy. Okay, and talking about the time complexity of the code, so the time complexity is going to be nothing but it's going to be order of n only, because I'm iterating through the sorry, it's going to be order of n because m, because that is the size of the array. And talking about the space complexity, so since I am not using any extra space, so it is going to be order of 1. Okay, I hope that you have understood this problem clearly. Please give me a +1 and hit the like button before we end this stream, right? Has everyone understood this problem, how we should deal with such kind of problems very easily? There is one very similar problem, I think, that is named as can place flowers, so you can search for that problem on the internet. Okay, that is also fine. Okay, is this everything is clear? Okay, Madbar says +1. Thanks a lot, Madbar. Thanks a lot to others as well. Okay, so thanks a lot everyone for joining for this particular session. And Madbar says got it as always, as he used to say in my batch as well. So thank you everyone for joining for this particular session. This problem was very easy, and I tried to make it as easy as more easy as much as I could. Thanks a lot for joining, and if you are watching the recording, so please make sure to hit the like button, and make sure to subscribe this channel, comment down understood right after the video is over. Then as always, what you can do is you can just come to this and you can refresh the feed. Okay, and then after the video is over, you can comment understood or got it in the chat also. Okay, now thanks a lot, and I'll see you with another problem of the day in the next week. Thank you everyone, and have a great day ahead. Thank you.